Hi, I'm James the Light Guy, and today we're looking at another set of LED replacement headlight bulbs. Today's bulbs are from Light Moses. They are their 360-degree LED Sky White headlight kit. They are available on Amazon, and I will put a link in the video description if you'd like to get them for yourself. These bulbs are in the H7 bulb type. And looking at the electrical connector, you can see it's marked with a positive and a negative. This bulb does not have a CAN bus decoder or diode for reverse polarity protection. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, now's a great time to do so you don't miss content and upcoming videos. I would have liked to see a nylon braided sheath protecting this wire and more strain relief down here by the heatsink. Speaking of heatsink, this is a fairly large extruded aluminum heatsink with a decent sized cooling fan at the back, but we have this chrome guard here which does let a lot of air in. But as you may be able to see between the fins here, we have a lot of restriction to that airflow, and the fan controller circuit board at the top further reducing airflow. Making our way up, we have the central shaft, which is extruded aluminum around a copper heat pipe core. That gives us a very high thermal efficiency to transfer heat away from those chips down to the heat sink. And at the top here we have 8 CSP panels with 6 chips on each. This results in light being cast in every direction, eliminating any dark spots or shadows these bulbs may produce or would have produced, resulting in a perfect beam pattern. The base plate adapter I just slid back on, at first I thought was plastic, but it turns out to be chrome plated steel. So that's a pretty decent piece. Turning on our meter, or rather our power supply, we can see that at 14.4 volts, we are drawing just over 2.2 amps. That will drop down to 2.2 and remain there. And you can see that we have no dark spots on this bulb. The fan is pretty loud, but that's to be expected for a bulb that is likely generating a lot of heat and needs to be kept cool. Now, in consideration of standardizing our tests, I made a new meter box. Inside the meter box, we have our light sensor against this wall, held in place centered, and we have a hole drilled in the top. This eliminates all the other light coming into the box. You can see that if we take our bulb and put it in, and then turn on our meter. We can see even at its most sensitive, we're not getting anything. Let's bring this up to our times 10. and turn on the power to the power supply. Alright, now this is going to drop for a little bit while we stabilize. Let's talk about why I'm using the adapter plate on this bulb. I'm using the adapter because we want to make sure that any H7 bulb that we test gets inserted to the same depth so that we can run them across the board and keep our numbers consistent, and prevent the box from blocking airflow through that heat sink. Alright, we're continuing to drop down a little bit. I ran this test earlier and found after 5 or so minutes it had completely stabilized at 1100 lux. This is about where I expected it to lie, but that is just an open air test without a housing. I ran the same test in a housing before, and unfortunately I'm still working on getting enough space to show you guys beam patterns and show you that testing. But for now, you're just going to have to take my word for it for now. At 15 feet, the brightest point I could find was 800 lux, and the darkest was 645. But I measured most of the beam to be between 680 and 700 lux, which does make this one of our best bulbs yet. This particular design with the 8 CSP chips is very, very nice. That appears to have stabilized, maybe just trickling down a little bit. Bump the camera. We can do a quick install of this bulb in this housing right here. The first part is removing whatever bulb you currently had installed. Taking the adapter plate off of your bulb. Putting the adapter in the housing. And securing it with the retaining spring. Next, we just take our bulb and insert it into the adapter plate. And connect up our factory harness, making sure to put negative to the negative and positive to the positive. That was super easy. If you enjoyed this video or found the information useful, please hit that like button for me. If you have any questions or suggestions as to how I can improve the channel, leave them down in the comment section for me. I really appreciate any feedback. Until next time, I'm James the Light Guy.